A Chinese philosopher by the name Confucius once said, if your plan is for 1 year, you plant rice. And if your plan is for 10 years, you're supposed to plant trees. And lastly, if your plan is for 100 years, you are supposed to plant, you're supposed to educate your children. Kindly, can you just expound on that quote?
Moleen, is a very important quote.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about education. And when we talk about education, education usually provides us with a level playing field. When children go to school, they are empowered. They are given opportunities. They are able to do things that they were not able to do previously. So education provides us with a playing field, a level playing field, such that those children who are empowered, does not matter your background, but as long as you have education, you are empowered in your head and you can think globally. So Confucius was right, that if you provide education to a child, you'll have plan for the life of that child, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but you'll have plan for the life of the child for several centuries. There's something we call educology. Educology is the process whereby if you went to school as an individual, your children will also go to school. Or if you have educated, you have exposed your children to education, your children will also be exposed to education. As opposed to those people who have not taken their children to school. There are people I know, they've not taken their children to school. They don't see any meaning in education. And as such, they don't see any benefit of them taking their children to school. And as a result, if you have not taken your child to school, your child will not also be able to take his offspring to school. When Confucius was saying, when you want to plan for 100 years, you have to educate your child. If you have educated your child, then your child will be able to educate his children. And his children will be able to educate the children that are coming in your generation. And thus, in that generation of about 100 years, you'll have educated, you'll have empowered, you'll have given these people the tools they need in order for them to explore their immediate environment.
So it fixes a generation. Education like fixes a generation.
Yes, it's for a generation. Yes.
Okay, that's nice to know. Now let us get into CBC. Now, the Basic Education Principal Secretary, Belio Kipsang, said that they are not going to allow police officers in the school during the grade 6 and grade 9 exams. Will this have a bearing on the results or the performance of the students?
Thank you very much for this wonderful question, or for that very wonderful comment about allowing police to our education institution. I want to say that actually it was our bad manners that allowed the militarization of our assessment. You know, these assessments are assessment actually, we are assessing the curriculum. That is the main purpose of us doing the assessment or us giving exams to students. We want to know how much are the objectives of the curriculum being made. But we reached somewhere because of competition. And we started these bad manners of doing things and we militarized. You see, wherever the exam is, you see, police is like they are going to war. You go in an exam collection center in the morning, and you see so many guns, and you wonder, are we having war? Only to realize that it's only an assessment that is going to be administered, and the direction that the ministry is taking is one of the best, and is actually achieving the objective of CBC.
Oh, okay.
Because you see, assessment, you're supposed to be assessed to know whether you have gotten what you have been learning. And in CBC, last time you remember, I talked of assessment for learning, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning. Now, assessment of learning, CBC has the component assessment for learning. This formative assessment, periodic assessment. There is in grade 4 and grade 5 before you get to CAPSEA. CAPSEA is the exam that is given at grade 6.
Oh, okay.
Yes, before you get to CAPSEA, there is what we call school-based assessment. This school-based assessment is contributing to the final percentage of the child.
So, is this the CATS, the continuous assessment test? Or
These assessments, they use different tools.
Oh, okay.
As I said the other day, we use different tools, and these tools include there are tools they are using for assessment, and these tools include written tests, as you have said. We have also projects. We have also practicals or performance tasks given to these learners. We have also observational checklists. We have oral assessment. We have also aural. There is difference between oral and aural. Aural comes with the listening. For example, there are students who have been doing these foreign languages, French, German, and all that. When they are doing their practical exams, they are given a tape to listen. And after listening to this tape, they are asked questions. That's aural.
Oh, okay.
You listen, and then after listening, now you start responding to the questions that you are being asked. And also we have portfolio assessments. So when these tools are used, we are only using one tool. When we use all these tools to do the assessment, then a student or a learner is we're able to gauge the learner whether the learner has actually gotten what is or she's learning at school. Now, when we are using these tools, like when I'm using a checklist, the duration for me doing the assessment is not going to be one day. There are going to be several days. And at the end of the day, these percentages or the marks I'm getting for this child are going to be given. And I'm looking, Moleen, I'm looking for an era whereby the exam is kept in the principal's office. You just put in the principal's office in one of the cabinets. You put the exam there. Then you come in the morning, you open the office, you go in the cabinet, take out the exam, and administer the exam or administer the assessment.
Actually, they were saying the police officers will just be collecting the exams and delivering the exams back to. So you are saying that they should not even be, they're not supposed to be.
Yes, because this one is just assessment because it's making these children panic.
Oh, okay.
It's making these children be stressed. Some of them have never seen a gun. And when they a gun with a policeman in official uniform, and when they see that, they are dramatized, and because of that, it becomes a problem to these children or these learners. Let us give them that free time. Let them think in their environment, so that we don't put a lot of things in their environment, and at the end of the day, they become traumatized, and as a result, they are not giving us what is appropriate. So what I'm saying is that these exams, it should not be do or die exercise, that I must use all means who can crook to pass this exam. We must relax and look at the exam. You see, in the 844 system, a teacher sets the cut, comes with the cut, has made a marking scheme somewhere, and then the student, yes, leo mtanitambua. Leo mtajua mjui. Nimekuwa nikifunza wengine wenu hapa, mmekuwa mkilala, sasa mtanitambua. It should not be the case.
You fear tayari.
It should not be the case. In fact, in CPC, come and even expose what you are giving these children, because you are assessing what they know against the outcomes.
Oh, okay.
You are not assessing the ground knowledge. You want to know how much that this student know, and as a result, now you are giving these tests, or you are giving this assessment, and you want this child to know that actually, this learner to know that I have not been able to measure to the expected outcomes. Yes.
Okay. Now, speaking of cramming, is CBC a solution to Kenya's education crisis? I think we are in a crisis at the moment. What do you think?
Actually, the reason why we are changing from, one of the reasons why we are changing from 844 to CBC is because of these bad manners of people cramming just for the sake of the exam. And that's why the CBC brings in the competencies. Now, it's actually going to solve some of these problems, because when I look at the assessment carried out, we are coming out of the grading system. Now we have a system where we are going to have the rubric form. In fact, I don't know if you have seen the report.
Yes, I've seen.
For CAPSE, they have CAPSE children, those learners, those who did the exam. You will see they are told you exceed the expectation, you met the expectation, you are approaching the expectation, and you are below the expectation. There are no grades there. Now, when you exceed expectation, what does it mean? This means that the learner consistently has a high level of accuracy. That learner is exceeding expectation. These are learners who have a high level of accuracy, and it displays this knowledge and skills and attitudes and values that are being assessed.
Now, hold on that. If a student or a learner exceeds expectation, can she or he be moved to another class? Know that is like exceeding.
Okay. In competence-based curriculum, there are what we call curriculum designs. In our older system, I know you know the curriculum design, but they are baptized a new name. In the older system, it's called syllabuses.
Oh, okay.
But in curriculum, in a competent-based curriculum, it's called curriculum designs. Now, every curriculum design, when you have a topic, they are no longer being called topics. They are called strands in CBC. When you have a strand and a substrand. Now, this strand has some objectives. When you go to class, like I'm teaching mathematics. Let me use the example of mathematics. And I'm teaching algebra. Algebra, you know, you have X. You know, my students were asking me someday that Mwalimu, you usually ask us X plus Y equals to this, then find X, but the X is there. My students telling me, but X is there, why are you finding X? Now, that aside, we have a student who can realize this algebraic expression And after organizing their break expression, collecting the like terms on the right side and collecting others on the left side, and being to solve this equation to get the value, the expected value. Now you give a student one question in algebraic expression to solve this question. Then this student or this learner is able to solve that question you have given. And this learner moves ahead and comes up with another problem of similar nature and solves that problem exactly, and goes ahead again to come up with another problem of similar nature. This is a learner who is exceeding expectation, because you gave that learner one problem, and this learner solved that problem very well, and has gone again to bring another problem, looking exactly the one you are doing and solving it properly. That is a learner who is exceeding expectation in mathematics. So the objective, you have achieved the objective. So when you are now assessing this learner, you say that this learner has exceeded expectation in that area you are assessing. Not in the class you are moving the learner out to another class. That learner in that area you are teaching, that learner has exceeded expectation. And that this learner now can be able to move much faster. You can be able to move much faster with this learner. That's what you are asking. What you are asking? Can you allow this learner to move faster? Yes, you can allow this learner, because he has mastered this content in this area. You can introduce this learner to another area.
Now I'm speaking of if they have exceeded expectation in every subject, like maybe social studies exceeding. In mathematics exceeding expectation, everything. Is this learner, can you move, instead of putting this person in this class and exceed expectations in everything? Well, kumsongesha kwa class ingine, now that
now you go to another strand. You go to another area, another learning area, or in that very learning area, you move this student to that area where you can expose him to more knowledge. Because you see, when you are in school, we have a curriculum design. When you finish this curriculum design, what we are calling syllabus, when you are on this strand, on that topic, it's called strand. But in this learning area, in this strand, and this learner is doing exceptionally well. Now you can move this learner to another strand and try to see whether this learner is going to get what is expected in that very strand.
Okay.
Okay. You can move with this learner. Actually, you give him this learner an individualized attention. These are what we call special learners. They are special learners in classes. We call them talented learners. In a class, you can have a mix of learners. We have talented learners. Talented learners, these are people you don't teach, they know already. So you need to guide them properly so that they cannot get bored. You know, when you have these learners in the class, if you are a teacher, trained teacher, if you have such learners in class, you are supposed to be very careful. So you have this learner and they get bored easily, because you want them to move with the speed of these others who are not moving faster, and they are finished and they are waiting for you. They might start doing their own things. So you, as a teacher, you are supposed to identify these learners so that you move at their speed, you move with them, and make sure that actually you are engaging them in the class, so that they don't become they don't distract your class. You know, they can distract your class. True. Because if you are teaching this person and is a talented learner, and they are able to move very fast. In fact, talented learners, they don't ask questions. These average learners ask. They ask abstract questions. And as a teacher, you're supposed to be very careful in the class when they're asking. Now, sometimes when you're teaching in a class, teachers will want to wache kerere yako hatutafika huko. Now, when you have such, when you tell such a learner wache kerere yako, no, they have already, they are learners who have already even finished that area. They want to move faster. So as a teacher, you are supposed, and in CPC, a teacher is a guider. Is not the superintendent of knowledge, whereby you stand in the front of the class, and when you stand in the front of the class, you are the only person with knowledge in that class. In that class, you are supposed to enable learning take place. And when you enable learning take place in that class, you are supposed to only be guiding the learning. You know, learning, some people learn through different means. And as a teacher, when you are walking around, you are exposing these learners to different learning methods. Because there are several approaches we use as teachers. And in the CPC, we are told we use inquiry-based approaches.
Okay.
Now, when you're using inquiry-based approaches, a learner inquires and you will answer later. You ask learners and they come up with knowledge. You know, then they are supposed to go down and get this knowledge so that you're able to move together. I was saying, exceeding expectation. We had come out of the things of grading. A, B, C, D, E. And some of these grades, actually, they make children feel very bad. They make them feel they don't even want to, because sometimes because of one reason or another, a child, because has a problem in one of the subject, like my subject, you know it, mathematics. That's where we have so many E's, and many children fear because they know they are going to get that thing called E. It becomes a problem. So we are solving that problem, that stigma that comes with the grading system. So that we have, when you meet the expectation, the learner displays the knowledge, skills, and attitudes. In most cases, I said when you exceed expectation with a lot of accuracy, but in most cases, this learner is doing now what? Meeting expectation. It displays the knowledge, attitudes, because CBC is about knowledge, attitudes, and values, and also competencies. So the learner is displaying these in most cases. That learner is given, you have met the expectation. But we have also the learner who is approaching the expectations. This learner who approaches the expectation does these things for some time. For some time. It's not all the time. You know, the other one we said in most cases. But doing this one for some time, he expresses, he shows this knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes.
The average kid in class.
No, this one is this one is the average one. But there is another one below expectation. That's the last one. Below expectation. This learner does not. They don't do. They need a lot of assistance. They need a lot of extra assistance in order for them to carry out the tasks they have been given. You give read this paragraph in English, and the learner will have a lot of difficulties in joining the sentences together. That is a learner who is below expectation. You know, you get to a grade like in grade 3, learners should know how to read. You give them a paragraph, they should know how to read that paragraph, and they read that paragraph without, they read with a lot of ease. But this learner at grade 3, they are reading, but in fact, they cannot make one word. They cannot put one word together.
So for that learner, do we have repeating in CBC?
No, we don't have repeating in CBC.
So what is supposed to be done to this?
A teacher is supposed to help this learner, and that's why we know below expectation. A teacher now is supposed to have more attention to this learner. Individualized. It's called individualized attention. You go to this learner so that you help this learner by providing remedial lessons. You're supposed to provide remedial lessons to this learner. And now when you are writing a report, what have you done to these learners who are below expectation? What have you done to them? You are supposed to have that meaning. You know, Moleen, there is a report Let me give you some little statistics. You know, many people I know, you ask a question whether we are coming out of the problems. You know, when you release KCSE, KCPE, people know how many people have attained grade A. When we release KCSE, we know how many people have attained grade B.
True.
Do you know that CAPSE exam was released? Do you know how they performed? Many people don't know. But the report is there.
Oh.
Let me just give you some statistics about this report. Like in English language, this exam, there were about 1,239 students, 712 students doing this exam in English. And in English, 19%, almost to about 20% of these children in English language, they got exceeding expectations.
I'm wondering why there's not much fanfare.
It's fanfare. The report is released, is put in the portal. Only interested people can go there and get the report. In this report, 41%, or 42%, it's 41.9%. They met the expectation. Then in English, that's in English language. Then 32%. They were approaching the expectation, and then 6% they were below expectations. 6%.
Now, Daktari, for this 6%, maybe the teacher has tried everything. Maybe they have given remedials and everything. Now, what are we supposed to do? Can they be taken to
all these students? Move to junior secondary. Have you heard that students who repeated in CAPSE in grade 6?
No.
All of them moved to grade 7.
And if a student is special in a way, like they need medical, you know that they are
okay, those students are what we are calling special need children. They have their stages they have to pass through. They are not in this, but age-based students, like those who go to school when they are 4 years, PP1, 5 years, PP2, 6 years, grade 1.
What if you notice there is a student who is in this age-based system and he or she has this problem that is...
Then you have to take this student for assessment.
Oh, okay.
We don't take these students just in school and we say that you just move to school and say, my student is having this problem. There are people who have been trained and they know how to assess. And after doing the assessment, they'll tell your child needs special needs education. They do the assessment, and there are schools like in Bungoma we have Nalondo CBM. We have in our schools also we have St. Teresa here in Webuye. There are those schools that, and also we have St. Anthony here in Webuye. There are those schools that take in those special cases, but they are not just going to be taken in. They have to be assessed.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Doctor, we have to take a short commercial break, but we shall be back after the break.
Thank you.
By grace. Receive this grace free of charge. Christianity is not about religion.
The price that Jesus paid for you and me, it shows how you are important. It doesn't matter where you are born.
When you are favored by God, it means you have God's approval. And you are more preferred by God.
If you understand the faithfulness of God, you will have faith. God will reward you according to your faithfulness wherever you are serving.
Faith without action is dead. Abraham obeyed the Lord when he chose to offer Isaac.
Though the enemy will come in like a flood, God will raise the standard.
Righteous cry out, and our Lord hear us.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive prophet's reward. Serving without sacrifice does not demonstrate commitment.
The glory of the latter house shall be greater than that of the former.
But them that received him, get them power to become, when one is in Christ, a new creation.
This is the grace of our Lord.
So Paul wants you to know
that the tactics of the enemy are serious business, and so he uses a specific word to describe them.
Launch out into the deep. There is a place prepared for you. There is a place God wants you to get to.
When the enemy sees a daughter or a son of God coming his way, he's shaking in his boots, not because of you, but because of the Holy Spirit of God that lives on the inside of you.
But that's somebody's word right there. God said it's not enough for me to put you in green pastures. I want you to rest in what I put you in.
As many as believed him, to them gave he power to become the sons of God.
Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life.
Phenomenal Kingdom Mothers invites you to their grand mega executive conference that will be held on 28th of April to 1st of May 2024 at Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology in Kakamega Town, Kakamega County. The ministering ministers will include Apostle Othniel Mwambili, MBCI, Kenya Gospel Revival Center, Dr. Reverend Jocelyn Isigi, Convener Destiny Christian Center, Kabatia, Apostle Janet Ikavo, International Vision Center, Reverend Dr. Joyce Kegohi, Jesus Celebration Ministers, Kenya, Bishop Eodia Ichana, Deliverance Church, Kenya, and Bishop Hannah Murunga, Bungoma, who are homegrown, locally sourced, but yet internationally recognized. Target groups include women ministers in 3 different categories. Category 1, bishop wives, apostle wives, pastors' wives, reverend wives. Category 2, women bishops, women apostles, women pastors. Category 3, women ministers serving within the 5-fold ministries. Divine overthrows and overflows awaits you. Come one, come all, and experience the mighty works of God.
Welcome back, viewers, and we were still discussing this competency-based curriculum. And Dr. Wambeye, kindly, can you pick up from where you left?
Actually, I was talking about the demystification of the release of the exam, whereby in 844 system, you see whenever you are releasing the exams, there is a lot of pump. And, and many people will go and many people will celebrate all over. But I was thinking about the CAPSA results that were released, and all these children or these learners transited to junior secondary. And I was talking about English, those who met expectation. This report is available on the NEC portal.
So anyone can access it?
You can access it. Okay. You can just access that report
for different schools of
okay, there is a report compiled by NEC.
Oh, it's a report. That's just a report.
It's a report compiled by NEC.
Okay.
And for those who are doing research, for those who are interested, who wanted to know, who want to know how is this CBC moving on. They have now the report, and now they can compare the report and they can do their research. And also the individual schools also, they have individualized results in the school portals.
Okay.
And I was saying that when this report is released, there is not a lot of fanfare around it. Compared to KCAC and the KCP, there's not a lot of fanfare around it. It is released, put on the portal, the school, they go there, they look for the results, and they see the results for their student. And also, it's not mentioning that these results of CAPSEA, they are results, some percentage, about 40% is from the school, and 60% is what's coming from now. These are, so there are two kinds of assessment that are being done here. We have formative assessment, formative assessment whereby we are doing periodic assessment. And somebody will ask, now, if these people are doing this assessment in the school, how is it done? These assessments, there are tools of assessment that have been developed by the examiner, by the NEC, Kenya National Examination Council, and they are put in their portal. So the teachers log in the portal and they download these tools.
Oh, okay. So for every school?
For every school, they go to the portal. They download the tools for assessment, and then they administer the assessment. It's called school-based assessment in grade 4 and grade 5. And this is what brings about the percent I'm talking about.
The 40%.
I don't know if 40% from the school and 60% from the main exam.
Okay.
So they download the tools, and these tools, by the way, they are not just produced by one individual. These tools are produced by Ministry of Education, Quality and Assurance, and standard officers, in conjunction with KICD subject specialist, in conjunction with NEC subject specialists. You know, at NEC, Kenya National Examination Council, there are people who are specializing in that subject.
Oh, okay.
They are called subject specialists. And also at KICD, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, there are people who are specializing in that subject. They come together. And also we have university lecturers coming in. And also we have practicing teachers coming in to develop these tools.
Oh, so it's like a combination of people?
Yes, not one person developing this tool. They are coming to know this tool. First of all, is something we call reliability. This tool should be able to measure and give consistent results. And there's something called validity. So these tools are supposed to be valid, and they're supposed to be reliable. And whenever now we are administering to these schools, the teachers in various schools they are administering these tools, they have been assessed, and they have been found to be reliable. They have been assessed, and they have been found to be valid. And these tools, I told you, there are tests, there are observation checklists, there are oral, as I told you, there are oral, there are portfolios. So when you are assessing, them to know whether you are being able to meet the outcomes that are expressed in the curriculum design. And also, I talked the other day about acquisition of the competencies and acquisition of the values. So you are supposed, when these the tools are being administered to the learners, they are also assessing these competencies, and they are also assessing these values to see whether we are achieving this.
Okay, Daktari. Is CBC aligned with the needs of our country?
CBC. we have needs that have been there. Development needs. Kenya has her development needs. And CBC is exposing learners to various competencies. Like when we talk about a creativity and critical thinking, we need people who are going to think critically and they are creative to come up with solutions that are going to meet our development needs. Now also, we have our 21st century skills. These 21st century skills, they are not only applied in Kenya, they are applied all over, across the globe. And the CBC is exposing our learners to some of these skills. Like I talked about critical thinking and creativity. There is also digital literacy. You know, right now, you cannot survive in our space. Or you cannot survive in any space in this world if you don't have digital skills.
True. The internet is the internet taking over?
It's already taken over. By the way, there is somebody was saying, we are witnessing the fourth revolution being unveiled to us while we are watching. Actually, there is a revolution that is going on.
So if you don't conform?
If you don't conform,
you are left.
I've been talking to some of the people about AI, artificial intelligence. This one, if you are not careful, you get somebody who has good digital skills, and they are a teacher teaching, and they have given your homework. A student goes and he goes to the internet. He goes to the ChatGPT. They do this. They just put the assignment to the computer. The computer does for them the assignment. They bring the assignment tomorrow.
So what do you mean? Like you type in like a question and then it generates.
It generates everything for you. That's AI. We are in another era, and the teachers be better be informed about the era in which we are.
So now how are you going to check for plagiarism now that this thing is generating?
It's generating, and that's why we are talking about we must have laws of how we are going to carry ourselves around. Because we have something that has come on board, artificial intelligence. By the way, artificial intelligence is being used everywhere. You go to hospitals, a doctor just types in what you are saying, and now the thing just diagnoses and tells this person might be this.
Are you in a tower to lazy in the system?
That is the era we are living in.
People are not thinking.
That's the era we are living in. And because this is the era we are living in, now catch up. That's digital literacy, and now what is coming on board. You go to industries, AI has taken over. You go to homes, not in Kenya, developed countries. People have AI assistants. When you come to a house, somebody tells you, welcome back, Moleen. The temperature is this. Which temperature, which music do you want to be played? And then you say, I want this music, and the music comes on.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes. That is the kind of the world. That's called Internet of Things. And AI has taken over. AI is taking over. Like researchers, when we are dealing with large data, analyzing data, now we don't need to have crack your head and all that. We have programs that have the component of AI in them. They can, in a splash of a second, they have given you all the information you want.
Like in terms of analyzing data?
Yes.
So you don't need to go to SPSS?
The SPSS,
Yes.
but there are these programs that are coming up, they have AI in them.
Oh.
And that's when we talk about when CPCs come, as it come to dealing with our problems as a nation. Yes, there is a competency, digital literacy, that all the learners who are coming out of the system, who are coming out of the CBC, they should be actually digitally. They are supposed to know how to use these things. And also, in CPC, it says that information communication technology, ICT, is going to be a career that every teacher, as we're going to be teaching in class, we are supposed to carry out the teaching through ICT. We are not going to teach ICT, but we are going to carry our teaching through ICT. Like, for example, I've already told you the assessment. Where do you get the assessment?
From the portal.
From the portal.
Yeah.
So we the CPC has already advanced and has already gone there.
So if you are a teacher and you don't...
And in the future, you're supposed to sit before a computer, like what the nursing students do when they are doing their final nursing exam. I've seen them. You are told to go with a computer. And when you go with a computer, that computer should have a camera. You are given an exam on a computer, and when the camera suspects, the program suspects that you are looking sideways, showing the signs of copying, the entire thing shuts up.
Oh, that's bad.
The entire thing shuts up. So that's where we are moving. That's where we are going. Like, there are programs, and I've used one of the programs, like these e-learning programs at the university. You go there, you set your examination. And after setting your examination, as you're going through the examination, you just tell the program, this examination will be administered on Friday from 8 a.m. You open this exam at that time. Then, when Friday, you tell your student, on Friday at 8 a.m., the exam will be on. So the student go to the computer, logs in with his credentials or our credentials, they get the exam, then at 8, and you have told the program, the exam is taking 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, the exam shuts up. Automatically. So we are not going to
collect your
papers and all that. No, we have already moved in a digital era, and things are moving very fast. And if our learners are not going to move with this speed, like they are coming from grade 1, grade 2, or they are coming from either junior secondary and senior secondary, going to university, and they don't have these skills, how are they going to do the exam? How are they going to handle themselves up there? Things have changed.
So we should allow our children to...
When they come, things have changed. In fact, this phone is a form of
a computer.
A computer.
Yeah.
Allow your children to access them and develop their digital literacy, so that they, at the end of the day, we are moving on as a country. Because the way things are moving, we are moving at a very high speed.
It's either you ship in or ship out. Okay. Okay. Now, Daktari, you know, politicians have been using this thing of, we are going to create jobs, like during the campaign period. Now, will this CBC system fix this problem of jobs, of getting jobs? Like after you finish the system, you're getting jobs. Like will it be automatic?
Moleen, this is a very serious problem. Getting the jobs.
You know, that is all these things that you're speaking, CBC, 844, this person is supposed to get a job at
the person, when he comes out,
yeah,
if you have creativity, you can think creatively, and you have the critical thinking, then you are fit to create jobs. In other words, this system is going to make these people think critically and think creatively. And by the way, those people have created jobs all over. The only thing they had was to think creatively. If you have an idea and you think creatively, then you have the opportunity of creating the job. So these graduates of this system, if they go to the highest level, that is the tertiary, that is the university, and the world of work, they should create things. They should think creatively.
So you are trying to change the
mentality of learners and even our people, because we have our environment, and there are so many things in our environment. Look at the pollution that is going on in our environment. Do you know that those are employment opportunities? The pollution that goes around.
Oh yeah, the solution is now the business, or what is it?
You see, we don't need a person to come from Germany to come and tell us that this waste in Tandora, in Nairobi, can be used to generate energy. There are countries who are using their waste to generate their waste from the environment. They are using this waste to generate the energy. This power we are using every day.
Oh.
Now, this person thought creatively before he came up with such a solution. When you go to our, there are people who are saying, because our soils have been used so much, used to these artificial fertilizers, we need to grow our crops organically. Now, we need people to come and start growing crops organically using available resources from the environment, so that they can grow these health foods for us to use them. So in our environment, there are so many things that need to be changed. And when we change these things in our environment, we are able to create the employment. And CBC is trying now to do what? To change the narrative that let me go to school so that I can be employed. You go to school so that you can employ. And also, you know, where CBC began from, there are countries that started CBC long time ago, before Kenya came in. They have been saying, we want a system of education that will provide solutions for problems that are there. You know, in Kenya, we are solving the problems that were there from 1970s. But there are people who are creating solutions for the problems that are not yet there. They have only foreseen in the future. There is this problem that will come, and they have already created a solution for that problem. And here, as we are still solving our problems of 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, or 2000, we are there and we have our problems. We are still solving those problems. We need now to come and start thinking. We need to solve the problems. We look at our future. And we say in 2050, 2060, 2070, this is the problem that is going to be there. But I've already created the solution for this problem that will be there. That's now education. The education that is helping us. We don't leave people to start. You know, you go to these developed countries, guys are doing things guys are doing things. And I'm just dreaming that in this country, we will get to that level where people are dreaming of what is 2040. We know we have a vision 2030. And I don't know if we I don't know when we will do the evolution of what we have achieved in our 2030 vision is when we'll see whether as a country we are actually in a position to project and provide solution for the problems that are coming. Because an education system is supposed to provoke people, provoke our learners to be creative enough and see that in our agriculture they provide solution like these floods that are killing people. Somebody should have provided a solution long time ago. These bridges that are being swept away. We don't wait for the problem to occur and then we come in with a solution. We are supposed to be proactive. And that's why when you started the program, you talked of Confucius. Who talked of when you educate a child, you'll have done what? You'll have planned for 100 years. So that's what we're talking about. When I educate my child right now and I empower him, we are supposed to have that so that we'll be able to have education that will give solution for the problems that are coming. And the CBC, we are in the right direction, giving the solutions for our future.
Okay, we are giving solutions to our future. So I'm told that there is an accident that has happened at near Matulo Girls, and we have lost one person. May he rest in peace. And we are supposed to wrap up the show. And thank you very much for joining us. My name is Moleen Maraka, and I was with Dr. Wambeye Marakia, an education management and policy expert. I hope I got it right.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, join us next time, same place, same time. Bye.
Moleen, I'll want to also to pass my condolences to the family that have lost their dear ones. The dear one at Matulo. May he rest in peace, and also may the Lord comfort